So baseball sucks.
Welcome back to the Arch Plays. Baseball sucks. That was our teaser.
What prompted that?
It was one of the topics that I had written down from forever ago. Is that baseball sucks?
Okay.
Every part of it is terrible. Were you ever in Little League?
Yeah, briefly.
Okay, what was your experience of Little League?
Being sad that I was in the outfield and I really didn't get a chance to play because I was in the outfield.
I was sad that I was playing baseball. See, I liked the idea of playing baseball because you got cool colored hats. I was like 5. But then I would get on the field and remember how terrible it is, how it was hot and boring, and I would... Oh, cool, you can control the camera during this section. How it was hot and boring, and what I would wind up doing every time is just like... We would get to the outfield, and I would, like, sit down, not pay attention, and, like, draw in the dirt.
Sounds like you, yeah.
Just totally checked out of all of it. The biggest reason that I wanted to be there was because I was really into Mortal Kombat, and I had associated the colored hats with different elemental powers. The blue hat would give you ice powers like Sub-Zero, and the green hat would give you like acid powers like Reptile. Was my logic at the time. Because I was 5.
Did you end up with one of the hats that you wanted?
I think at one point I wound up on the purple team, and I decided that was something like psychic powers, but couldn't decide any more details besides that. Oh, you can control these guys.
Oh,
cool.
Cool.
Well, they are wearing hats, and if you can knock the hat off, then...
I guess it's a mandate that everyone in this new Mario world wear a hat.
Yes. Well, anyway, Little League was awful. Which is appropriate, considering that Little Leaguers are also awful.
Their parents are mainly awful.
Alright, let's see what happens if I...
Like, Little Leaguers, you know, they're just being kids. But the parents, they treat them just being kids as, okay, that's fine, and, you know, especially, like, traveling teams, like, oh, it's fine, you know, they're just being kids, and we're in a hotel, so we don't need to actually parent our kids, you know, this is vacation for us. We can sit in the lobby and drink and not care about what our kids are doing. I have a lot of disdain for Little League parents. They're often also usually the worst part of Little League baseball, like as like many referees and, you know, umpires will tell you.
I did not remember that a referee in baseball is called an umpire until just now.
Yeah, they're not quite a referee. They're more just they judge the ball. Like where the ball is gone, and like if something was, yeah.
So the act of playing baseball is really boring, and I don't know why anyone does it.
It is,
and watching baseball is also horrible. The only good thing about watching baseball is if it's your kid, and really, it's not the baseball that you're watching. It's I want my kid to do good things.
Yeah, like even. I'll say, like, playing baseball, yeah, I kind of see, like, where the fun is in it, but watching baseball is just the absolute worst. Like, and I know because my dad would watch baseball, and, you know, I'd go to games sometimes with him, and just, Nothing really happened. The most interesting things that might have happened is if someone, like, you know, actually hits the ball, like, into the stands, or if a fight breaks out.
How baseball came to be, quote-unquote, America's pastime, I have no idea.
I think, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like, oh, it's America's, and it's a not cricket for America.
Actually, you know what? I take it back. You know why it's America's pastime? Because passing time is the only thing baseball is good for.
Yeesh. Oh, I think I know why they would want you to go back and blow that so you can get the moon. But yeah,
Yeah,
got it, so.
if you were a normie who's bad at video games, like I was a couple seconds ago.
You mean like me?
You are like
Nah.
base level competent at many video games. A lot of the stuff that I like get weird about you not doing is some of it is design language that you just weren't exposed to because you didn't play that kind of game, and a lot of it is like I am a guy who does really advanced techs. It's not really fair for me to expect that of you.
Yeah, but you still do.
I do, yeah. Did you get tired of playing, or do you want the controller back?
You've just had it. And
Yeah, I just took it from you.
Yeah.
Here.
No, I bet it's more entertaining to watch someone who actually knows how to play the game.
Yeah, but people shouldn't be watching the show. They should be listening to the show. So, the Bound Bowl Grand Prix. Why does French spelling suck? You learned French for a while.
Why do you suck for blaming French for being the way it is?
So any way to spell?
Well, how about you save this for the next one?
Yeah, okay. I don't know that can fill out an entire episode, but
okay, fine. I guess from baseball to French.
What are some other sports you were in?
I really wasn't in sports, like, because we were poor, and that kind of prevents you from doing a lot. Well, I was also like, I wouldn't dare ask my mom like about something like that.
I wouldn't ask your mother about anything.
Like, I enjoyed playing floor hockey. Floor hockey was really fun. So was soccer.
Yeah.
I wasn't really that good, but I had a lot of energy. So that was something.
So I was actually really good at badminton. Did I ever tell you that?
Yeah, I was fairly decent at badminton for a time.
When I went to play badminton years later, I was really disappointed that I was way worse.
Yeah. Yeah, I was very disappointed when I picked up badminton later on, and I just wasn't as great as I was before. I don't know if it was just I happened to play decently well previously, or if I actually was good previously. Who knows?
Can I damage myself? No, but I can get covered in snow. Okay, I can't get cold enough to damage myself just from doing that. Playing Overwatch has really pointed out to me that most sports are actually kind of boring games. Like, and most games that are old in general are not very interesting games. Which makes me a lot more sympathetic to poker than I used to be, because there are a lot of moving parts in poker, because the cards are largely irrelevant. What you're actually playing is the other people. So what the real game is the ability to read facial expressions and coordinate that with people's bets and determine whether they actually have cards that are as good as they seem to be indicating that they are. That's the real game. If you were to treat football or baseball like a video game, it would be a terrible video game, because there's only one level. All the players have different classes, but the stats on those players are much closer to each other than you would otherwise think they ought to be. Like, look at the height disparity between Torbjorn and Reinhardt.
Yeah.
There's 10 feet between them.
I'm more willing to defend football just because there are more bits than in, say, baseball. It is a little more entertaining. The only thing is, it's just rather choppy. Like, things... Oh, hello. It's just a lot more choppy action-wise than anything, so... That's one of the reasons why it can often be rather boring, and also football fans can also be the worst sometimes.
All sports fans are terrible. And that's kind of why I have no interest in esports also, because it's going to attract the same kind of people about a different game.
Yeah.
But at least that other game is a lot more complicated.
not particularly interested in, like, seeing Overwatch as a sport. I just want to play the game itself.
And maybe actually play Simon Says in the game instead. What?
You tease me about it as if, like, I'm doing a terrible thing.
A little bit.
It's a part of my, I don't like watching Let's Plays. Like, I'd rather play, or like watching sports in general. I'd rather be playing the game than watching someone else do it.
Yeah. I get on a level playing sports, because if you find the game to be interesting, then sure. I personally don't, but no accounting for taste.
Yeah.
On the other hand, watching sports, you have to be, like, invested in the narrative of a team or something like that.
Yeah.
You'd have to be really damn good to be interesting to watch play a game.
Yeah.
Unless it's, like, I'm interested in the game itself and I don't have the ability to play it right now. Because I know Jen would watch Let's Plays of games because he couldn't afford those games.
Yeah, I totally get how that is. Like, I often watch reviews for Sims games that I couldn't get. Or that I wanted to get at some point. But not quite Let's Plays.
It's a similar kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think a lot of sports fans, the fervent ones, were former players at one point. Maybe not like professional or college even, but just, you know, it at one point was a big part of their life.
I don't know, because my sister on my father's side will scream at the television for very small happenings.
And she didn't play any sports?
No. She's an actor.
Actors can play sports.
I'm saying it's not where her primary interest in her own activity lies.
The way you phrased it didn't really sound like it, so I just had to, like, you know, point that out for people who don't know.
Yeah. Okay, I guess.
For Degrassi fans, it's basically like Owen telling Tristan that Cam couldn't be interested in him because he's a hockey player.
That's further in Degrassi than I've actually seen, so...
I know, that's why I said for Degrassi fans.
Okay.
Most fans who are alive now will remember Cam and Tristan.
This is the best place. I've seen Victor play it.
Okay, so I guess I'm gonna play it.
Yep, you're gonna play it.
Okay, if I fall off the edge of the world, it's your fault. For giving me the controllers.
Yeah, you're gonna have a wonderful time.
We'll see. Alright, anything else about sports balls?
So, what do you think about people saying sports ball as a way of dismissing sports as a subject?
I don't know, like, when I say it, I'm not trying to be dismissive, I'm just more like, they all fall into this category, like, because there's so much overlap in between, like, with it, even with, like, esports, so I'm not necessarily trying to be dismissive, but I guess other people use it to be dismissive, so I should stop using it that way.
Other people definitely use it to be dismissive, including me. Like,
yeah.
I will say sports ball as a means of hand-waving away all sports as being interchangeably the same, because they are. However, that's different than when I say talking about sports to refer to something that I do. Because when I refer to something as talking about sports, I'm anytime that comes up, I might be referring to Pokemon or Overwatch or something like that, where it's something that is impenetrably complicated, where you couldn't really explain it to people if they didn't have an existing understanding of all of the things. Usually it's very crinkly subjects that have lots of numbers to them. And I also use it to refer to things that nobody cares about. Like, if I have a certainty that nobody else could be interested in it, I will refer to that as I'm talking about sports.
Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't mean to kill him.
I don't know how many of them you actually need.
Yeah, why can I get out of here?
Now, that is definitely dismissive of sports as a subject, but,
It is very much.
what I'm trying to get across to people is my experience of... Those are hot, yeah.
Well, how could I tell?
The steam. Isn't this place incredible, though?
Okay.
What I'm trying to get across to people when I say something like that is I want to communicate that the experience that I have when they talk about sports is the experience that you will have if you listen to me talk about this thing. I promise you don't care.
Yeah, I can see that.
I have even referred to My Little Pony as sports before. Or Steven Universe. I think that's it for sports. And for me being dismissive of sports. Do you think it's... How bad do you think it is that I'm that dismissive of sports?
Like, on one hand, the tribalism is not necessarily something to be proud of.
You hit the main point that I totally forgot, which is... It is tribalism porn. That's what sports is.
Yeah, at least for the people who really get into it, yeah.
I picked a team...
Oh, come on!
They will respawn. You can stop killing yourself.
They don't respawn.
If you walk far away and then come back.
Yeah, and then I have to, not die coming back.
Okay. It's tribalism porn. It is... It's just you picked a side. And then the random twist of fate determines whether you are happy or sad and how much. You might as well be throwing different colored dice. They have a narrative, but you can make up a narrative for different colored dice. This one's name is Patrick. He's originally from Ireland, and now he moved to Canada and to become a rock singer. He's dating a single mom. You see, I just lifted that from Degrassi.
Yeah, it's just like, wait a minute.
But that is an interesting story.
I didn't want you guys anymore.
So you just genocided this stack of guys.
Genocided? That would involve me killing, literally all of them.
Mass execution by immersion in boiling liquid? Yes, you genocided them. Hat those guys. Something that's kind of missing from our experience of playing these games is the sound design, because the sound design in Mario is great.
Seriously, girl.
There, go get that heart. Go down.
What heart?
Left. There. Yeah, you did it.
Nah.
You killed him in one life. Come on.
Nah.
Be a little happier. I'll take it with you.
No.
Okay.
Tickling doesn't make people happy.
Jump scares are the fear equivalent of a comedian who just tickles people.
Yeah, right?
Okay. Yeah, I think we're done on sports.
Okay.
What do you want? The French spelling, that was our other thing. This episode has been... This is going to be a short episode. I'm cool with that, though.
Okay.
Next time on tAP.